Hey everyone, I've been asked by several people to give my thoughts on the Tiger King because I am a known big cat rescue supporter in Tampa. I have donated money and I have visited the site several times. Here's the thing. First and foremost, tigers belong in India and in Southeast Asia. And Siberia. That is their natural habitat. I I can't stress that that's what my participation and advocacy is about, is to restock tigers back in the wild where they belong. I wish there was a way we could take these 10,000 tigers living in the United States and reintroduce them or rehabilitate them back into India and Southeast Asia and Siberia. That's what I would love to see. I don't know how that, we could go about doing that, but I like to see that. Here's the thing about that I know is I kind of knew about what Carol and Big Cat Rescue. I didn't really know the full story on how she got her money, but I will say this, is that every big cat, they have a small number of cats, and they all come from horrible situations. The enclosures are clean and well kept. They have plenty of space. They rotate around to a huger sanctuary for a vacation where they spend and they get to run around. They have a whole bunch of acres to run around in. The other thing is what Big Cat Rescue does for local wildlife. And I mean bobcats that get hit by cars, Florida panthers. They rehabilitate them and then release them back in the wild. I have seen expensive surgeries where other people will euthanize a cat. Big Cat Rescue pays for that, whether it's removing a tooth or what have you. So I know that $10, $20, whatever I give that year is going to help the animals and feed the animals. I'll tell you one story. There was a liger named Freckles, and I've mentioned this before. Now, Freckles probably came from that guy Doc in South Carolina, and because he's the only one that breeds ligers. Ligers should not exist. They're genetically, they're flawed from the start, and they suffer because of it. They have terrible lives. Now, the idiot who Doc probably sold this liger to decided to cut her canine. So Big Cat Rescue saved that liger, Freckles, from that situation. And Freckles hated the sight of a human approaching her den. And let me go back. They put her in a nice big enclosure and they gave her a nice den to hide, to feel safe. I remember when I went there, I was one of the first humans that she actually let come near, that would approach, that she didn't growl at. So I felt honored for that, But again, they gave Freckles a dignified existence until, her genetic problems got the best of her. And the thing with tiger cub petting is the biggest sin in the world. What happens to that cub is that they didn't say it, but they didn't bring up these canned hunts. So that little tiger that you hold, and the Tiger Joe or Doc, they sell them to these canned hunts, and these rich guys spend thousands of dollars. They let the tiger out, and the tiger has no idea what the hell is going, or the lion. All they know is they've been cuddled by people and fed, so they're not afraid of people. And literally, the guy has a gun, and the tiger just walks up, boom, and kills it. What kind of hunter is that? That is not a hunting. That's execution. So I'm against tiger petting or cub petting. It is the biggest sin, and breeding. And I know that doesn't happen in Big Cat Rescue. Now, what happened in the past with Carol and her husband, maybe he was going to be in like Doc and Joe when breeding cats, but he's not around anymore. So They don't do that at Big Cat Rescue. So I wanted to share my take on this because it's been all over and everyone's, shocked about this. And I don't know why. I mean, this is crap I've known about since my relationship with Big Cat, or moving to Florida and knowing what happens to these big cats. They're majestic animals. They're the symbol of India. Get that straight. They're not they're not a symbol of America. They belong in India and Southeast Asia. That's their natural habitat. They're my ancestral country's home animal. So, but as an American, I am going to stand up and fight for their protection and for their natural habitat. And the thing is, like, the people over there, they need to understand that they have a natural resource. And instead of like hunting and killing or poaching them, and also what's going on with Corona. How is this spreading? It's because Chinese have all of this, they think tiger bones gets you erect or what have you. There's no science to that. Shark fin soup, ivory, rhino horns. It goes on and on. Eating bats. There's a link to all of this and to the coronavirus, if you think about it. So all of this, the black trade of animal parts, to what we're dealing with today. That's why I think, China should ban eating anything, dogs, cats, the wild animals, whatever, that their diet needs to be. And I'm not saying as a culture or racial thing, because I'm a minority myself. I'm saying this because they need to know that it's not good for humanity, what they're eating and consuming. So I thought this would be my take on this because you've seen me post stuff about Big Cat Rescue. And I wanted to be honest and forthcoming about my knowledge of stuff. And I know, and I'm saying Joe and the guy in South Carolina are terrible for breeding cubs and selling them, and then they end up in cane hunting. That is no. I do admit that how, Carol got her money is shady and everything, but again, what I've seen is all good, and I've seen it be used positively, and those animals are treated awesome, and they're given a dignified life, and they do fight. Yes, they may had dirt on them, but they were forthright and, showing and everything and fighting for their cause. So anyway, that's the summary of my take on this. That's about it. Take care.